Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to CSL Eugene, and thank you to all of you for having me. My name is Sean A.B. Larkin. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a practitioner out of CSL Portland and currently enrolled in ministerial school at the Napa Valley campus. I have diagnoses of ADHD, PTSD, and autism, and I am another expression of the one, just like you. I'm going to invite my longtime student, Csle, and co-traveler up to ring our singing bowls together to start our meditation. Now I'll give an invocation to enter the silence. There is only one thing. It is that infinite calm at the center of each of our beings. And as we relax in to that natural state of unity, we are given total permission to be at total peace and watch love blossom within the center of our beings. Anytime, anywhere, we do not need a reason or a purpose to be one with everything. We can release the agenda, we can release the attachment, and be one. And in gratitude for this time of oneness, I release this prayer, knowing that the consciousness is ever present. And together, we know, and so it is.
morning. Can y'all hear me? All right.
Good morning.
My name is Radiant, and this is...
I'm Naomi.
And we are grateful members of your Joy Notes song leading team. If you will rise up, we will sing a couple of songs. This one's your welcome here. We want you to know that you are welcome here. Anyone is welcome here always. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are
Welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
You are welcome here. Our arms are wide open.
There's room for everyone. Wherever you're going, wherever you're from.
You are home. We are welcome here. We are welcome here.
We are welcome here.
We are welcome here. We are welcome here. We are welcome here. Whatever you've been through, you found us somehow. Wherever you are on your journey now, you are whole. I am
welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here. I am welcome here.
And so we are. If you're out there, please turn to your neighbor or greet all of your friends, all of your love lights. If you're at home, don't forget to send that letter of love out to all the people.
I didn't hug you yet this morning. Thank you for being
Yeah. If you'll return to your seats, we'll sing our second song. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. Last time, draw it in. You are the face of love. Turn to your neighbor. Remind them they are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of love. We are the face of love. Knowing the face of love, being the face of love. If you have a device, please silence it now, and thank you for coming to celebrate this beautiful Sunday service with us.
Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing today? Excellent. My name is Danu, for those who don't know that. Hello to everyone joining us remotely from home. Thank you. And if you're here for your first time, we have a sheet in the lobby you can fill out and get signed up for our newsletter. Our newsletter is the best way to stay up to date with all of our classes, offerings, and fun events. And here at this center, we know that spiritually empowered people live richer, fuller lives. So we use the principles of science of mind to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives. And I'm going to share with you a piece of our global vision. We envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God, or spirit, or source, or whatever name you choose. And I'd like to welcome up our practitioner of the day, Radiant Gates. And if you'd rise, if you choose, we're going to sing one more song.
Come together in this moment, behind our hearts and minds, for we are born a tapestry woven from one hive, God creation undivided, unique expressions of God. We come together now in one accord.
Good morning. So I invite you all to just sit back in your seats, and if you have anything on your mind that is taking you out of this presence, wrap it up in a garbage bag and set it right by the front door. Leave all that stuff, all the laundry and the doctor's appointments and all of that stuff by the front door, and just come be here now. For I know that God is all there is. All of the particles and experiences and breaths that I have the honor of breathing is God in this moment. God is the world turning and all of the space that holds it. And I know that as I speak these words of God out into manifestation. I know and affirm for anyone who hears my voice right now or in the future on a live stream or wherever you are, if you hear my voice, if you hear my songs, may they be the healing songs of your day. I know that we are so blessed to be in a community of like-hearted individuals that is forever growing and thriving and changing humanity by changing our mind. And I'm so grateful to have a place to come every Sunday where my heart is full and love thrives and peace prevails. My gratitude is the depth I can't even define. I am so grateful for all of this. And I release this by setting it free, by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Radiant. And I'm going to read for you now our April affirmation. I will read it once aloud, and then if you choose, you can repeat it again with me. As part of the infinite creative force of life, I show up authentically as a voice of love. When I become still, I hear the sound of truth, calling me to open to love and transformation. I become who I came here to be. With me now, if you choose. As part of the infinite creative force of life, I show up authentically as a voice of love. When I become still, I hear the sound of truth, calling me to open to love and transformation. I become who I came here to be, and so it is. And we have a very special guest speaker today, my friend Sean Larkin, and he will be speaking on the topic of what does it mean to be a spiritual warrior. And before we start his talk, we have a special musical guest today, Timothy Patrick. Is Timothy here?
Yes, Timothy. I saw Timothy.
Go get him. The time is now.
Where was I? Yeah, there we go. That's part of it. Oh, my goodness. Well, John, you better mute this. I'm going to turn this little device on here. Ready? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm ready, John. Well, good morning. Good morning. This was a little faster than normal. I was in there rehearsing a little bit. There. Well, thank you for your patience, and we have a special song to share with you because I wrote it. There we go. And this was based on something that Reverend Linda said last time I performed here. As she was closing her talk, she said, you know, when we look in a mirror, we should be more kind to ourselves, right? More loving. And as I was exiting, I said, I've written a song that I play for senior communities that reflects on that notion, hence a mirror. And it's called The Mirror Challenge, and the song is Bless This Mirror. Let's go to the next slide there, Ray. And enjoy. What you're going to see is some slides lost the vocal again. But there we go. Uh-oh.
Shall we switch? Let's switch to white or something. Yellow, white.
Switch over to the yellow one.
Okay.
Do it that way.
Thank you. So you'll see some slides that accompany this presentation. I stand near the door, checking my time. Glance in the mirror, I don't recognize that guy. He has too much hair, far fewer lines. He's in uniform with medals and stripes. I don't recognize that guy. Sit at my bedside, brushing my hair. Glance in the mirror, there's a stranger in there. A beautiful brunette with far fewer lines. She's at work, that's where she shines. I only recognize those eyes.
something now. I feel so blessed for all that I've done. The sweet joy of love, my daughters, my sons. Oh, bless the smear, I see love. Yeah, bless the smear, I see love. Oh, bless the smear, I see love.
Settle back into your seats. We'll go into a short meditation after we sing this song. It's a great place to start your practice of meditation if you haven't already. Is that perfect? You can hear me. I'll speak louder. You are the face of God. I am in my heart. Okay. Let's
I
start
am
again.
opening.
I'm really opening this time. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready
To receive, I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Greetings, friends. My name is Sean A.B. Larkin, licensed practitioner out of the Center for Spiritual Living of Portland, where I have practiced our teachings for about 15 years now. My pronouns are he, him, and I've embraced diagnoses of ADHD, PTSD, and autism. They're all many aspects of the one jewel. Thank you to the board for asking me to come speak while your minister is on sabbatical. A special shout out to Astrid, who I got to know at Camp Cedar Ridge. That is a person that reached out to me. And thank you to the practitioners and musicians that have co-created this service. A special thank you to Danu, a friend in Next Gen that helped me feel welcome and encouraged me to follow the path of spiritual service. This is actually my first time giving a Sunday message. Y'all be gentle. Good, because I'm not going to be gentle. The reason I was asked to be here is in a talk that I gave at a continuing education class for CSL, people were preaching pacifism. And I challenged this arrogance, and that is why Astrid specifically asked me as they walk in, bless you Astrid, welcome, yes, to speak on what does it mean to be a spiritual warrior. And so I've actually brought a sacred implement. This is actually a sword. Don't worry, I'm not going to draw it. It actually takes too much energy to draw. It would actually desecrate your space, and I won't do that. This has been on my altar since I was entrusted with it. And when Astrid asked me to speak, I said, you know, it's time to bring the sword into the world. But we'll talk about what the sword represents at a metaphysical level. So what does it mean to be a spiritual warrior? We got to talk about spirituality and warriorship. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the neurotic science of mind. Let's analyze the words. But we need to orient to a common understanding of the language so that deeper understanding can then be shared between all. And then we're going to talk about the inner conflict and the outer conflict. So what is spirituality? Oh boy, we could talk about a whole thing. But in Science of Mind, we like to embrace all paths and all teachings. And in the broadest sense, spirituality is that aspect of human exploration, experience, and research that has something to do with consciousness and deep experience. And that can be its own discipline. When we meditate, when we pray, when we come together in spiritual community, we are engaging spirituality. But there also is a time when we say something is spiritual. You know, when that jazz musician went into that solo, that was spiritual. You know, when I was on that last leg of that walk around the lake, just something happened, right? When I was laughing with my friends, there was this moment where I didn't even know what we were laughing about. And it feels spiritual because it's that dimension of our experience where the experience becomes so big, so profound, that it's not just that one limited thing. The finite connects to the infinite, and we complete that sacred loop where we know it's all one. It also has to do with what psychologists call the flow state. If you've ever been an athlete or a musician, there are those moments where you have the perfect catch, the perfect shot, where you stop playing the song and the song starts playing you, where something bigger happens. In psychology, we call that a flow state. In spirituality, we might say that's when spirit started to move through me and I got out of the way, right? You know, sometimes I've given talks or speeches where I don't even remember what I said afterwards. You know, my higher power just said, get up there and talk, and things happen. And that's what we call the flow state. So what does it mean to be a warrior? This word has been co-opted. Cultural appropriation just doesn't happen when we're talking about the colors of the rainbow. Cultural appropriation happens when, as a society, we lose touch with essential roles played in our civilization. A warrior is not someone who goes over there and shoots somebody, and when they come back, they don't even know why they did it. That's actually a victim. Those young men and women that get exploited, those are victims. They're brainwashed in, they're in poverty, and they're forced to do things. That is not what a warrior does. In the ancient definition, a warrior is someone who courageously and perhaps aggressively battles physically or metaphorically for a cause. And that last phrase is essential. You can be a brawler, you can be a fighter in the UFC cage. You're fighting for your ego, you're fighting for glory, you're fighting for a paycheck. I'm not going to judge that. A warrior has a cause. And if we think about not just metaphorically, but metaphysically, what is a warrior? What is the ultimate cause? That the light is good, that creation is a blessing, that we are here for a reason. And originally, the warrior caste were the people who, through genetics, had the body that was strong. And right now, if someone walked into your sanctuary to threaten all of you, I literally have a sacred oath that I will be the first one to that door to stop. And none of you will be touched. I actually took that oath when I trained under a grand master in martial arts. I had to try out for 100 days, and he said, if you want to learn from me, you have to take an oath. If I teach you, you will use this to defend the innocent, defend the infirm, defend those that cannot defend it, and you die before they are touched. That is the vow of a sacred warrior. And there's a reason this archetype has been lost. Because there are those that want us to live in the system, to forget that we are one with everything. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. But essentially, The warrior is one who makes a stand to protect what they love, to protect the space dedicated to light and love, to the good, the true, and the beautiful. And they own the responsibility of that. And that doesn't have to be a physical event. Again, we live in a materialist culture, so they want you to think that you're a warrior only if you have this. This is an implement. I actually don't even need this to defend. I wouldn't disgrace this item stopping someone at the door. I'd use my hands because those are actually quite enough, ladies and gentlemen. This is a symbol and it's a commitment. And in martial arts, when we move with the weapon, it is to express the weapon as an extension of our being. And in Shambhala, The Path of the Sacred Warrior, if you're curious about a book about the path of a warrior, Shambhala, The Path of the Sacred Warrior is excellent. The key to warriorship and the first principle of the Shambhala vision is not being afraid of who you are. Ultimately, that is the definition of bravery, not being afraid of yourself. Because if you're afraid of yourself, how can you defend anyone else? If you're afraid of yourself, you're actually at war with yourself. But the self is this one thing in its many forms. And we know that that form is light, it is love, and it is right here, right now. And it's our conscious connection to spirit. And that's why in advanced martial arts, it is not the movement. It is a state of consciousness. They teach you this. It is easy to flip around and do jump kicks. It is very hard to be in unitive consciousness without ego while doing that, and watch spirit move you in those forms. And eventually the form becomes a place of meditation. Because then when that moment happens, when someone wants to bring violence in, the first thing I bring is my consciousness. And oftentimes that is enough, because the consciousness of unity is contagious and people can feel it. My first martial art instructor actually taught me, your first weapon is your heart. If you love the other so much, why would they try to hurt anyone? In fact, someone that doesn't feel loved, those are the people that then resort to violence. If they felt that unitive love that we all know we can feel, why would they want to be violent? So how do you hold that love that when that person wants to become violent, you extinguish it with the waters of spirit? Your second weapon is your voice. Stop. What are you doing, my friend? Why, how can I help you? Please do not take violence out on anyone here, right? And in the Jainism, they call that ahimsa. That peace within you is so strong, it radiates out as a presence where no violence can even take place. Because your peace is a vibration. Their violence is a vibration, and which is louder? Then that's what everyone's going to hear. And in South Africa, if you know, they had Shantasena. Does anyone know about this tradition? Peace Army, I'm seeing some nods. When they were transitioning their government and they didn't have a police force, they made Shantasena. So when someone would try to commit a crime, everyone would come and say, Shantasena, Shantasena, we love you, please stop. How can we help you? You're a member of our community. Instead of cowering away from the other, what happens if we stand firm in our truth and say, brother, sister, gender non-binary sibling of the one, tell us your troubles. We are you are us. How can we support you as your community? There is no crime if there is no other. There is no other if we radiate oneness. The solution to crime is not more violence, it's actually more love. Love in our institutions, love in our communities, and a commitment to love in the moment of challenge. And this is where the training comes in. This is what we call it spiritual practice. Oh, if we're just sitting listening to beautiful music, that's very easy to feel the love of God. When someone's freaking out on the bus, now we're in the world, now we have to practice this thing our center is called spiritual living. Can I apply what I've done in practice? In the same way, right, if I'm training the sword or if I'm working the punching bag, what did Bruce Lee say? Boards don't hit back. Okay, it's one thing to break a board, but when something is coming at you, when adversity comes at you, can I meet that with my spirituality? Let's talk about the inner battle. Because before we're even going to talk about the external world, we must look at ourselves. What is the one thing you can control? You. I might be able to impact the outer world, right? But I have to begin with myself. We've all heard that story of the two wolves within your heart. One wolf is in darkness. It is a wolf of anger, of suffering, of hate. And I'm not judging it. These are ancient emotions that helped us survive as animals. There's this other wolf, though, a wolf of light, of love, of truth. And that is a wolf that helped us ascend up the animal kingdom and have dominion over the earth. And by the way, the word dominion is a mistranslation. If you go back to the original Hebrew, the word is actually much closer to the English word stewardship. That we are here to be stewards, right? And the ancient Celtic tradition, my ancestors, the Druids, didn't dominate nature. They studied it and they said, how can we help it? Oh, this is becoming a bog. Can we help the river connect here and flow through it and turn this bog into a lake? How can we help nature be even more harmonious? How can we help the animals frolic and play? That's stewardship. That's nurturing. That's the calling that we have. But that wolf is in there. As Master Yoda said, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. There's a reason Star Wars hits so hard. George Lucas rewrote Star Wars after reading The Hero of a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell, a book about the meta-myth of the hero's journey. And that's why that movie matters. That's why we're so mad when they mess it up with the new movies, because our souls were being fed by that mythology. And everyone can believe in it. When I do guided meditations and I have people meet wisdom teachers, all sorts of reactions to Jesus and Buddha. When I call Master Yoda in, people start sobbing and have these amazing experiences. Because we all recognize that's a vehicle of truth. Yeah, Hank Azaria's hand was in there making him do his thing, but the one universal truth was moving through him. That if we allow our heart to turn to the darkness, it is the greatest defeat we can know. The Buddha. Anger is like holding a hot coal in your hand and expecting the other person to burn. Why aren't you burning? Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I just started training again under a Taoist master, and in the first class he talked about this. He said, you can poison yourself with emotion. He's like, you could eat all the right food, do everything your doctor says, do all the physical, all the qigong he's teaching us, opening up my meridian lines and flowing the energy. And he's like, but if you go around hating people, you're going to be the sickest person you know. Because our emotions produce chemical events in the body, and those chemical events signal truth to our body. Every feeling is actually a prayer to your body about how it should feel. What am I praying about? We must choose the good within ourselves. As Judah Krishnamurti said, there can only be peace if there's no conflict within yourself. If there's turmoil within, what else will there be without? Because we know that we are a fractal. And every single part of me imbues every single thing that I do. And so if there is hate, if there is pain within me, seeds of it will infect every action I take. And before I know it, I'm looking at what I've sown. I go, oh my gosh, is this what I want to make in the world? So then what do we do in those moments? Because we're going to err. We are not here to be perfect. We are here to humbly strive to be better than we are. Perfection is an ideal to motivate us, but in this culture, it's become somehow an expectation. No. It's a gift that we can understand perfection, but don't abuse yourself with it, my friend. But savor those moments like, oh, there was one chord we heard from our musical guest here. Oh, it was just like the perfect chord. Oh, I felt it, right? Or that moment when we were all waiting and your pianist was like, oh, I'll just play the Jeopardy song. That's perfection. When in that moment we meet imperfection and we love it to something better. So can we do that with ourselves? Ernest Holmes, our founder, in the silence of the soul's communion with the great cause of all being, into the stillness of the absolute, into the secret place of the Most High, back of the din and the ceaseless roar of life, we shall find a resting place and a place of real spiritual power. Power is not out there. It's not here. It's not in this. It's at the center of your being where creation has an open space. And if you sit in that space and become still, you will start to find a silence. And in that silence, you will find a unity with all things. And you will watch your soul begin to dilate like the birth canal. And you'll see yourself birth new expressions of spirit through you. I don't know if you've heard that song, "It is not I, but the Spirit within that does these things before me." Because we're here to be conduits of grace. That's actually what Jesus was talking about. The kingdom of heaven is not an abstract place. It is that place that we create when we say, "Not my will, thy will be done through me. I give you my hands, I give you my feet, I give you my voice. What would you have me do?" And then that unit of consciousness moves through that opening that we find in meditation and out into the world. And that's when miracles happen. There is nothing supernatural, though. To quote Manly Palmer Hall, all events happen according to natural law, but man has not discovered all natural laws. But the wise women know we don't need to understand the law to let it move through us, right? All the ancient medicine women would teach us that. I'm not healing you. Oh, no. The spirit through the herbs are healing you. I'm just here making the song, but it's the music that is healing you, right? Again, from Shambhala, The Path of the Sacred Warrior. Every human being has a basic nature of goodness, which is undiluted and unconfused. That goodness contains tremendous gentleness and appreciation. And in his book, he says that at the center of the warrior is actually a great gentleness. Can you be so gentle that the world moves you so deeply that you get to the point of tears? And in that sensitivity is the motivation to stand tall for the good. You first have to let the world move into you. This is what Ernest Holmes called involution. Let reality move into you. Then it evolves you. And then that leads to the revolution. I was an organizer in Occupy Portland. You know why it failed? The average level of consciousness of the movement was too prone to hate. They would rather talk about what upset them than talk about the solutions. Now, there was a minority of us that were on high watch, leading it in that direction. But I studied that movement while I was in it to go, why is this movement struggling? And ultimately, it's because we didn't have what they had in the 60s. We weren't singing songs. We weren't breaking bread. We weren't maintaining that consciousness of unity in the movement so that when we go out to the demonstration and marches, we're not in anger and hate and, like I've been to these No Kings protests and there's so much fire. We got to go back to love. Raise your hand if you've ever antagonized someone into being nice to you. Anybody? Individually, we know it doesn't work, but collectively, we seem to fall back to old habits. Oh, we're going to bully the other side of the aisle into doing what we want. And I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. If you think there's an aisle, you're in error. The aisle is the illusion. That's the wedge they're putting between us. If you want to conquer a populace, you make them hate each other. It's the oldest game in the book. You can go back and read Socratic dialogues from 400 BC. How old is 2,400 years? We can't even fathom that. And Socrates was telling us, oh yeah, like the government's going to try and separate you into groups and have you fight each other. You should look out. And we're still doing it because it's in our nature. I'm going to quote Marvel, of all things, from the Doctor Strange movie. He's standing before the wise one. And he's like, wait, can you teach me to conquer my demons? And she goes, no, you can never conquer your demons. You can learn to live above them. And in my belief, they are there to make you strong. They are there to show you, where is my body sensitive? Where is my heart sensitive? Where do I get triggered? Okay, this is where I need to get strong. And over time you learn your demons are there to humble you, to remind you that you're human, and to teach you empathy for others that have the same demons. And if you learn to live above them, you can help others live above them. They're actually your teachers. And in Tibetan Buddhism, they don't demonize the demons. They actually know this. These fierce statues that you see outside Tibetan Buddhist temples, they're there to shock you into remembering that you've forgotten the path. Because it's still the one. And a part of the one loved you so much, it put on a face of terror to play a role in the archetypal theater of your soul. It's still the one loving you. Just like who's been a parent or who's ever worked with young children, that first time you have to really punish them. Where you're like, yo, we're taking the Wi-Fi away for a month. You were out of line. That first time you get a speeding ticket and the government's like, you're giving us $150 because you were not being safe. When you've been the person being punished, they don't love me. Oh, my heart is so broken. Oh. But when you're the punisher, you're like, I love you so much, and you didn't listen. There has to be a consequence. Your animal self is the only thing that will listen. I've tried to reason with you. I've tried to love you. So I'm going to wear the archetypal mask of the bad guy and scare you into doing the right thing because you're not wise enough to learn the lesson yet. It's still an act of love. So when you encounter those inner demons, love them back and say, what are you teaching me? Make me stronger. Back to Shambhala. The logic of basic goodness is very similar. When we speak of basic goodness, we are not talking about having allegiance to good and rejecting the bad. Basic goodness is good because it's unconditional or fundamental. It's there already, in the same way that heaven and earth are already there. From Game of Thrones, of all places, my gosh. Good and evil were here before I got here and will be here after I left. I cannot create or destroy them, but I can add to the good, and you can help. And if we do it together, it's actually very powerful. The essence of warriorship, or the essence of human bravery, is forgiving to give up on anyone or anything. Is there anything that is not the one? No. So I can't abandon any of it. I may not agree with it. I may not condone its behavior. I may distance myself from it to keep myself safe. As much as I'm a warrior, I still have my wounds. I still have my triggers. I know where I have to keep myself safe. But I don't stop loving it. I have never encountered a single thing that did not deserve love. I have encountered people, places, and things where I said, I am not going to be the vehicle of the light for you. My stuff is getting in the way. I got to go do some growth work, right? So I have to still remember, because I'm human, because I'm imperfect, there are those times where I have to say, Spirit, I can't take this one. Please send another agent of your love. I have to go back to retreat and do my work because I've just failed this part of the oneness. Just take a breath. I'm going to get real here. I love CSL. There's a lot of spiritual bypass going on. And a book I read that was looking at, it was called Positive Warriors. That was the entire history of New Thought and positive spirituality in America. The author called out our movement and our founder for a very good reason. He's like, CSL seems to not have a good answer to why there's suffering in the world, and they give you spiritual bypasses and positive affirmations and say, oh, it's going to be fine, honey. Let's take a breath, because now we're going to do the thing that many are afraid to do. Now that we're in the love, we need to step into the darkness, and we're going to bring some love to it. The Epstein files, the Rothschild banking dynasty, war, poverty, famine, greed, corruption, the exploitation of women, the exploitation of the children, the oppression of the rainbow of human diversity. We're facing it down, friends. And if you are here at this time, on this planet, hearing this message, then you are part of a spiritual army. This is not an easy time to be an open heart. This is not an easy time to be a being of love and light. And we came here, we were looking in the fifth dimension down at this time, and we went, let's roll our sleeves up. I'm going to see you there, okay? We're going to get there. We're going to take on some wounds and trauma. We're going to get into this country because there's actually a very special opportunity. We have everything we need to realize a golden age. It's in our hands. A civilization that explore the stars, bring light and love and truth to new planets, encounter other life forms, transcend to other dimensions. We are so close. We have all of it. And that's why we're here, because we believe in love and light. And we had the audacity to pick this time to show up and stand for something. And is it supposed to be easy? Absolutely not. Because then it wouldn't be worth it. We want the challenge. We want the puzzle. And when we have spiritual community, we gain the resiliency to keep fighting the good fight. And I'll be humble. I had a real bad trauma in November. I'd done a decade of work around a certain wound, and I met someone, and I said, oh, the sign is important. I did a treatment calling in a person, and they showed up in my life exactly the way that was. We had a beautiful courtship, and when you get to that point where you love someone so much, you're loving them more than they've ever been loved, and all their wounds come out. And I was wide open, and I got wrecked, and I forgot about the light for months. And something in me said, Sean, just go watch Lord of the Rings. It was at OMSI. So I go and watch it. Frodo and Sam are on the mountain. They're bloody, they're cut up, they're covered in ash, they're starving, they're thirsty. That ring of power, which is just a symbol for the darkness, right? Is trying to make them stop. And Frodo says, I can't do this, Sam. I can't do it. And Sam says, I know, it's all wrong. By rights, we shouldn't even be here, but we are here. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad has happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that you stayed with. That meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had a lot of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going because they were holding on to something. And Frodo's like, Sam, what are they holding on to? And Sam says that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. You get it? Yeah. Now let's go 2,000 years back. Ephesians, right? Paul writing to the Ephesians after Jesus has left. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Our war is never against our fellow human. Don't make war against evil people. Make war against that which makes people evil. Amen. There is no gene for hatred, okay? There's no peptide chain for racism. There's no organ for hate. If you've held a young baby in your arms, they're already in unity. And if the culture doesn't keep them there, they become astray. And then they can fall into hate because they get hurt because we're not keeping them safe. Morpheus in the Matrix. The Matrix is everywhere. It's all around us, even now in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work. Maybe even when you go to a church preaching hate, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. And Neo says, what truth? Morpheus, that you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into a bondage, into a prison that you cannot taste or touch, a prison for your mind. And if we're in this room, we have actually been given the keys. Ernest Holmes said, the law that built the chains that bind us to our suffering is the same law we can use to break them. It is the law of the mind. Ernest Holmes said in Living Without Fear, if we find ourselves surrounded by confusion, we should meditate on peace until we feel a sense of peace. So if we're feeling the outer conflict, stop. Go within and meditate. He continues, then as the mind returns to its objective state, it brings an atmosphere of peace with which dispels the confusion just as light dispels the darkness. Thus, our meditation becomes a practical thing. It has an actual everyday experience. If someone cuts you off in traffic, can you stop and go, I really hope that part of the oneness can get to where it needs to go. Grandma might be in the hospital. You know, I might be late for the birthday party. Make up a story about why that part of the oneness needs to do that thing, and you will cease hating and you will start loving. It's all a narrative in the mind because we don't know the story. You might as well make up a nice one because then you're training your mind to believe in the good of the stranger. Because when you have wronged, there's always a story of why in that moment you didn't have quite enough to do the right thing. So when you see someone else err, make up that story and go, I'm going to pray for that person because I believe that spirit is one with them just as it is in me. Back to Shambhala. In the face of the world's great problems, we can be heroic and kind at the same time. Oh, it's easy to want to smite the other. But can you turn the other cheek and love the enemy and realize that the enemy is one with you and that the enemy is actually ignorance? Because if you're hearing this message, I have news for you. You're actually privileged. You're spiritually privileged. Right? Ken Wilber studied this. They did a sociological study. The average level of consciousness in science of mind, we call it purple and spiral dynamics. That's 0.1% of the population, folks. Okay? The majority are in pain, they're in suffering, and they go to a place on Sunday and they're actually encouraged to hate. Okay, think about that for a moment. Imagine going to get spiritually healed and they give you poison, and then you get culturally indoctrinated into thinking that that poison is somehow medicine. Boy, we can't judge these people. We need to love them because we have the teaching that is medicine. And in sacred warriorship, what the blade actually symbolizes in Western occult practice, the dagger and the tarot, is the tool that divides falsity and truth. And it's the mind. And first we have to do the surgery on ourselves. No, this hate is not true. That's not the truth of who I am. Okay, that suffering, that trauma, these are things that I have experienced, but they're not the truth of my being. I will remove these things so that I am only a conduit of love and light. And then eventually you begin to love the wound because it's the thing that woke you up. That crazy family you were born into, you had to wake up real quick and figure out what the truth was. Amen. And then you realized that they were your teachers and they had a soul contract with you. You said, you know what, I want a harder incarnation because I want to get tougher sooner so I can show up earlier in my life. And then you start reframing your whole narrative to go, wait a minute, I'm on the hero's journey. I'm here for a reason. What does it mean to commit to the good in all we do? To stand in the light? Ernest Holmes says, we can ask more. What greater realization of life than to know that God is with us? From this great realization comes peace, a peace which the world little understands, and a calm which is as deep as the infinite sea of love in which one realizes himself to be immersed. If we celebrate that good in all that we do, how can we fail? But we will fail. Stephen McCraney, the master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. Master Yoda, the greatest teacher failure is. Failure is us learning where we need to let more of light in, more of the strength of the one. Failure is when we learn we are not strong. If we went to the gym and I said, hey, let's grab these dumbbells and let's go until you fail. You wouldn't be like, oh, I failed, I'm terrible. You'd be like, oh, I just got stronger. I just found the limit of my strength. And in that striving, I got a little stronger. It's the same when we're loving. That moment we're about to give up and we go, not my will, thy will. I'm going to love you and me through this, even though it hurts, and do my healing afterwards. Because as Gandalf said, some believe it is only great power that can hold evil in check. But that is not what I have found. It is the small, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. We're brainwashed into this hero narrative. Was it Martin Luther King that made civil rights happen? Was it the million people marching behind him for one day? No, it was like the thousands of volunteers that spent a decade organizing, who primarily were women of color, sending out the pamphlets, making sure everyone had rides to work when they were protesting the buses. There was an army of volunteers that didn't make it about them. But in the history books, they teach our children that it was this one hero. Because when you look up at him and say, oh my, how could I ever do that? It disempowers us. The hero narrative makes you weaker. But when you think about community and say, no, we're all going to join hands and then nothing can break us, that's what evolves a society. What you're doing here every week, building a community of love, a space of light, of wholeness, of truth that empowers each one of you to go out the rest of the week and live these principles. That's the war. The battle is always in the now, and it's in your own heart. Which wolf am I feeding? What is the prayer I am giving to my body and to the person before me? Because it's all the one. So what is my choice? And in warrior meditation, we stand when we meditate. So I invite you, if you're able to stand, to join me. If your body isn't able to, it's okay, because the body is just a symbol. It's to stand in spirit. And I invite you to just try it now with me, to just meditate standing up. And as you breathe, feel the light from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. And then as you breathe in, you feel the love of the earth move up your feet, up to the top of the head. Because in Taoism, what they teach us is that the human is the one that stands between heaven and earth. But the word between translates as a bridge, a conduit. We gift earth to heaven, and we gift heaven to earth. So every morning stand, and if you feel called, you can repeat these affirmations with me. I am a spiritual warrior.
I am a spiritual warrior.
I stand for light and love.
I stand for light and love.
I choose now to commit myself to the sacred path.
I choose now to commit myself to the sacred path.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you for having me.
That was absolutely lovely. If I can have the ushers come up, we will go in our tithe. And it's a good time to remind you all that, the money that you put in the basket is just not just money going into the basket. It's creating a space where we can all come and feed ourselves the message, feel the love, become enlivened by the amazing music experience that we have. We make an investment every week in our experience. And I inspire you to make a higher investment because you're worth a whole lot more. And now if you'll rise up, we'll sing our song. Or I guess I'll rise up. Never too late to pray. So I'm just going to hold space right now. All of the money that was collected, all of the passion that we have given, and continue to give to the center and continue to be fed by the center. As God is all there is and all experience, I know and affirm that we are fed the truth, that we live the truth and change the way we think and change the way we live. And in complete gratitude to be a part of a community that thinks and lives and has their being in its highest good all the time and reminds me every day to use this teaching. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of the blessings that have transpired in my life, for all the goodness that I have, and for all the goodness that I am. I release this into the consciousness. And now, by saying, and so it is. And we are completely blessed because we have another song by Timothy Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you. How's your garden looking? How many are going to go out gardening today? Well, this is a song about gardening. And it's also about the notion of maybe turning away from the news, turning away from our devices every once in a while, and getting in touch with wonderful things. It's a tune by Lucas Nelson called Turn Off the News. And Lucas Nelson is Willie Nelson's son. I believe every heart is kind. Some are just a little underused. Hatred is a symptom of our times. lost in these uneducated blues. I just want to love while I can. All these other thoughts have me confused. I don't need to try to understand. Maybe I'll get up, turn off the news. Turn off the news and build a garden with my neighborhood and me. We might feel a bit less hardened. We might feel a bit more free. Turn off the news and raise the kids. Give them something to believe in. Teach them how to be good people. Give them hope that they can see. Hope they can see. Turn off the news and build a garden with me. Trust builds trust. All that negativity's a bust. Trust builds trust. Don't you want to be happy? Turn off the news and build a garden with my neighbors and me. We might feel a little bit less hardened. We might feel a bit more free. Turn off the news and build to raise the kids. Give them something to believe in. Teach them how to be good people. Give them hope that they can see. Hope that they can see. Turn off the news and build a garden with me. Turn off the news and build a garden with me.
Thank you so much, Tim V. Thank you. And thank you so much, Sean, for blessing us with your presence and your powerful message. I am truly blown away. I'm just, I'm a rock star. You are blessed by Yoda and many others. and thank you for blessing us with your presence so much. I'm going to have to go back and watch that talk a few times to unpack all of the power and the wisdom in that. So, announcements. We have many good things happening around here. So regular stuff that's going on during the week, we're running, it's about that time, and so I'm just gonna kind of go through. If you're interested in knowing what's going on, we have stuff other than what we have on the slides too. So make sure you get the newsletter so you can see what gatherings we have going on. This weekend is, you could leave that, or if you could go back to that slide, I'm gonna have her go speak for today, the one right before. Oh, it's fine. Okay, we'll figure it out. But we have Shanti Shivani coming this weekend, so if you're interested in that, Saturday night. And then after service today, we have Sandra Jeffson. She's here. She's going to give you a brief description of what she's going to provide for us after service. And if you have a moment to come on up, we'd love to hear what you have for us.
Hi, I'm Sandra Jeffs, and at the beginning of the year, when I knew a Year of the Fire Horse was coming, I started doing this particular session I'm going to offer today with my paying clients, and it was so powerful that I opened it up to a group, and then I asked permission to come here and share it with other people. I am a transformation, energy, and light guide. The Year of the Horse is about new beginnings. It's about new opportunities. The fire, if we're not grounded, if we don't have our spiritual center strong, can burn us out. It can really bring in the anger and the darker energy. So in the session I'm going to be doing, I use breath work because that's our life. Learning to breathe and breathing correctly can ground you and bring in that spiritual energy. I also do a guided meditation for grounding both to the earth and to our higher self. Theta to clear out blocks and limitations, triggers that we have that are still holding us back. And then ignite the fire with a Hindu chant to ignite that energy that is spiritual energy in the Dantian. Sean talked about martial arts. The Dantian isn't about being, going and killing everybody. It's a reserve kind of chakra where the energy is reserved. So when you come across an event like you described where somebody is coming at you with guns, you have that reserve of energy to just bring it up and come from a place of love and of the spiritual energy that you're connected with. So that's what I'll be offering. If it speaks to you, please join me. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right. And so, yes, and we're just going to go through the rest of those and just know that we have the great weekly things. And Danu?
I think Jade was wondering, where is that happening?
It's happening here, right after service, here. Yes. All right. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We have just wanted to mention that if you would like a moment with any of the practitioners after the gathering, if you wouldn't mind rising, the practitioners, and I see Reverend Trish here too, we are here for you. If you would like to have a moment with any of us, we would be happy.
Reverend Trish, Reagan Gaines.
And I am Susan, and Sean, if you would like to be available for folks too, that's great. We do our, what we call a miracle minute, but it's really, a few minutes of time if you need to, if you need some support, or if you just like to share some of the good things in your life. We're here to listen to you, and so thank you. All right, if you want to rise, let's hold hands here.